Today, we're diving into a story that feels like a technological twist in modern history. How did Israel, a small nation with limited natural resources and a young history, surge ahead of France, a historic European powerhouse, in jet and missile technology? This journey is not just about machines and metal, but about strategy, innovation, survival, and determination. So buckle up, because this story is going to take us through war fronts, secret collaborations, sabotage, intelligence missions, and breakthroughs that changed the future of modern warfare. In the 1950s and 60s, France was the heart of advanced aeronautics in Europe. It was producing some of the finest fighter jets, like the Dassault Mirage series, which were fast, sleek, and technologically superior. Israel admired France's capabilities and wanted to build its own air power. After gaining independence in 1948, Israel faced immediate threats from neighboring countries. It knew one thing clearly: without air superiority, survival would be a challenge. France became its closest partner at that time, supplying Israel with Mirage Roman 3 fighter jets. These jets became legends during the Six-Day War in 1967, helping Israel secure one of the most dramatic victories in air combat history. But wars change politics, and politics changes alliances. After the 1967 war, France suddenly imposed an arms embargo on Israel. Overnight, Israel's main jet supplier turned its back. Israel had ordered dozens of Mirage 5 jets, had even paid for them, but France refused to deliver. Israel was now stuck. It had the designs, the experience of flying them, but no access to parts, engines, or support. At this moment, many nations would have begged for new partners, but Israel decided to do something radical. It would build its own fighter jet. Experts said it was impossible. Israel had no aircraft industry capable of developing something so advanced. It lacked money, resources, and time, but it had something else. It had brilliance, desperation, and ingenuity. Israel secretly acquired blueprints of the Mirage jet. Some say they were smuggled, some say copied through engineering intelligence. Israel Aircraft Industries, now known as Israel Aerospace Industries, began working on its first indigenous fighter jet. They called it Nesher, meaning eagle. It was almost identical to the Mirage, but customized for Israeli needs. This moment marked the birth of Israel's independent aviation era. But that was just the beginning. Israel didn't want to copy, it wanted to innovate. They continued to improve the Nesher program and developed the Kfir, a more powerful version with a new American engine, better avionics, and customized weapons. The Kfir was faster, stronger, and more agile than the original French Mirage. It began to catch attention worldwide. The United States even leased Kfir jets for training their own pilots, calling them the F-21A. The student had started to impress the teacher. But jets were only half the story. The other half was missiles. France had strong aircraft capability, but Israel began focusing deeply on missile technology. Israel's doctrine was based on lightning, fast response, and pinpoint accuracy. They didn't have the luxury of long wars or large ground forces. Precision was their secret weapon. They developed Python air-to-air missiles, which became one of the most advanced heat-seeking missiles of its time. These missiles gave Israeli jets a major advantage in dogfights. This technology leap wasn't accidental. It was driven by real wartime necessity. When Israel faced surprise attacks during the Yom Kippur War in 1973, it needed quick upgrades in air defense. That war taught Israel a powerful lesson. Missile technology could be as important as fighter jets, or even more. France and other countries didn't feel that urgency. Israel learned to innovate under pressure. At the same time, Israel began heavily investing in electronic warfare. It wasn't just making jets and missiles, it was making them smarter. It developed early warning systems, radar jammers, and advanced avionics that helped pilots detect and destroy targets before being seen. This gave Israeli technology a brain, not just muscles. France had great engineering but wasn't moving as fast in adapting to modern electronic warfare. Israel also entered the world of unmanned aerial vehicles, UAV or drones. France was still largely focused on classic jets, but Israel saw the future. Instead of putting pilots at risk, why not gather intelligence using drones? Why not test strike capabilities without risking human life? Israel invented some of the first modern military drones like the Scout and the Pioneer. These became game changers and later influenced American drone development. By the 1980s, Israel wasn't just making jets and missiles. It was designing the future of warfare. Its missiles became extremely precise. Its Aero missile defense system could intercept ballistic missiles at very high altitudes. France had no equivalent system. While France was still concentrating on traditional air defense, Israel was already protecting itself from missile attacks, drones, and advanced surveillance systems. Israel's greatest advantage was speed. While French defense projects took years of bureaucratic review, Israeli developers could test, design, and deploy new systems in months. War taught Israel something priceless: time is everything. They used rapid prototyping, real battlefield testing, and immediate adaptation. This mindset transformed them into one of the most responsive defense developers in the world. Israel's defense industry worked like a startup. It was agile, responsive, innovative, and unafraid to take risks. France had brilliant engineers, but was slowed by traditional structures, heavy regulation, and politics. Israel didn't have that luxury. It needed results fast, and it delivered. When the world saw how effectively Israeli technology performed in battles, especially during conflicts in Lebanon and Gaza, many countries started buying from Israel. From India to the United States, from South Korea to Brazil, Israeli defense exports grew rapidly. Today, Israel is among the top 10 arms exporters globally. It dominates markets in drones, missile defense systems, air-to-air missiles, cyber, defense, radar, and precision strike technology. France still builds great jets like the Rafale, but Israel builds systems that make even great jets smarter, deadlier, and almost unbeatable. Another major factor was collaboration. Israel developed a strong partnership with the United States. The U.S. shared technology, funding, and advanced components. In return, Israel provided cutting-edge innovation, battlefield-tested systems, and intelligence-based research. Together, they created some of the most advanced missile systems on Earth, like David's Sling and Iron Dome. These systems changed global defense thinking. Instead of focusing only on attack, Israel mastered protection. Iron Dome became a symbol of technological brilliance, a system small in size, but giant in capability. It detects, tracks, and destroys incoming rockets in less than 15 seconds. The world watched in awe. France did not have anything close to that. Suddenly, defense was not just about offense anymore. It was about survival through precise protection. The most impactful part of Israel's development was something money can't buy: the mindset. Israeli engineers were trained to think differently. They were encouraged to experiment, fail fast, and try again. Many of Israel's best technologies were developed by young engineers who previously served in intelligence units. They knew the importance of data, speed, and accuracy. They understood war not from textbooks, but from real-time experience. They weren't just designing machines. They were designing solutions. Israel also mastered the art of combining technology. Instead of building just missiles, they built missiles that could talk to jets. Instead of building just drones, they made drones that could coordinate with ground systems and cyber defense networks. It was a fully connected digital battlefield. France had excellence, but Israel had integration. As of today, Israel has moved ahead not just in manufacturing, but in futuristic thinking. It is working on laser-based air defense, autonomous drone swarms, AI-powered targeting systems, and hypersonic missile research. It is not just catching up with the future, it is helping define it. France still builds brilliant aircraft like the Rafale, and it remains a strong military exporter. But Israel has built something unique, something even bigger than aircraft. It has built a system that sees, thinks, adapts, protects, and strikes with surgical precision. A small nation with no oil, no large military budget, and no traditional aviation legacy is now at the front lines of technological warfare. It didn't happen overnight. It happened through crisis, determination, and the belief that innovation is not about resources. It's about mindset. France had the technology, but Israel had the urgency. France had the factories, but Israel had the purpose. And in the world of innovation, purpose beats power. The story of how Israel moved ahead of France in jet and missile technology is proof that sometimes the greatest power is not the one with the biggest army, but the one with the sharpest mind. In a world where battles are no longer just fought with bullets, but with data, precision, and intelligence, Israel built an army of thinkers. And that changed everything, and that's it for today's video. If you found this breakdown insightful, make sure to like, share, and drop your thoughts below. Do you think traditional military power will be replaced by smart technology? Let's talk about it. Until next time, stay curious, stay informed, and keep your mind sharp. Voice over ends here.